Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drug, and I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching Stocks on Sunday, and of course the market is bracing itself for Monday, and we're going to go over that and a whole bunch more. Yesterday, the title of my show was to pray that this time is different, and that was referring to the crypto market and Bitcoin. Of course, we saw a big sell-off there yesterday, and then today, the title of today's show is Pray That This Doesn't Happen. What is this that we're praying that doesn't happen? I'm about to show you that and a whole bunch more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read them and to respond. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Smash the subscribe button and you'll get these daily updates. So what are we praying that doesn't happen? Well, in case you've been living under a rock here, we had the strike on the Iran nuclear facility last night, and the Nasdaq futures is already down there, and I would expect there, when futures market opens tonight, there should be more of a sell-off there, and I will be in the Discord looking at what there might be some potential trades or some setups before the Monday open. However, I'm more inclined to wait until that 4 a.m. Pre-market to open to see what may happen. I think we'll get a good idea what the pre-market will look at like from the Sunday night overnight trading there. So I will be very busy in the Discord tonight and early tomorrow morning, and of course at the open, and of course we'll also be looking at the crypto market on Monday morning as well on my YouTube video. But as you can see here, the first move in Iran's retaliation could be to block the Strait of Hormuz. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. A critical checkpoint where nearly a quarter of the world trade flows. Any disruption here would send prices skyrocketing, triggering global inflation and economic shockwaves. Now, if we go above to the next article here, oh boy, if this happens, $100 a barrel, $100 barrel oil, 5% inflation rate, question mark, no rate cuts, maybe rate increases. We better pray that this doesn't happen. Right now, the markets are pricing in a 55% chance that the strait does get closed, and we are going to see this situation. And remember, I did share a week ago the one chart to rule them all, and I do have the sinking feeling that we are going to see this completely broken, unfortunately, here. This was our line in the sand for oil. This is a 3-year trend line holding price down all the way back to 2022, and this is about to get broken here. I'll show you. It goes all the way back there, and this is what we do not want to see, and this is what will cause the markets to really fear and panic and sell off crypto. We saw that yesterday, of course, and this is our line in the sand here at $76 in case you missed my show last Sunday. We don't want to see a candle do what this is doing here, where this candle closed above the 50-week moving average and then had a full open and close above the 50-week moving average. We don't want to see a candle close above 70 trend line at $76, and then we don't want to see an open and close the following week. That would be incredibly bullish for oil and incredibly bearish for stocks and crypto. So let me share what I see possibly happening here with the SPY to kind of brace ourselves for tonight and tomorrow morning. Now, let me just show you something really, really crucial here. The 20 EMA is at $593, okay? Now, tomorrow morning, it may be a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but it's around that level at the moment. Whatever that level is currently, if that breaks, that would be incredibly bearish, and I'll show you why. We're already below the 9 EMA, this pink EMA exponential moving average here. We've gone below it, and now we're going into it. We kind of tried to get above it and then closed below it and found support on Friday at the 20 EMA. Now, if you notice what happens, these lines are very important. If you go back and see, we don't want these lines to cross below. That's the bottom line. And while the price is below this, the 9 EMA will go down and the 20 EMA will go up, although once we lose this, they will both go down. But because the 9 EMA is shorter than the 20, it will go down faster and cause a bearish cross. And that bearish cross, I want to show you what happens the last time we've had it. Now, there's where it bullish cross here. And you can see that was an incredible move to the upside after bullish cross. But of course, you could have got in sooner had you been using the tribal trades indicator, signals indicator, one indicator to rule them all. And if you do want to get access to the tribal trades indicator, it is a paid indicator, and you get access to it by joining the Tribal Trades Discord. There is a link below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. That will pop out, and that will give you access to the Tribal Trades Discord for less than the price of way less than the price of a cup of coffee per day. You can get access to, and that is, of course, the link is below in the description. This Discord is an exclusive trading community. Therefore, we will be closing the Discord signups this month. So if you are thinking of joining the Tribal Trades Discord, now would be the time to do it before that closes, and then we will go to a waitlist situation, which we've had before. And so that is the Tribal Trades Discord there. You get that signals indicator, and that would have gotten you beautifully in at or around the bottom. And of course, it doesn't time the bottom perfectly, and you know the saying, those who try and pick bottoms get smelly fingers. It's not trying to pick the bottom, but it gets pretty close to it. And of course, it's not trying to pick the top either, although it would have been pretty darn close to it to getting you out pretty much at the top there. Actually, in that case, it does look like it did pretty much pick the top there before the stock market capitulated there. And we do have another sell signal on the daily time frame there. So that's a little bit of a warning signal. If you've been using the indicator, then you could have gotten out there and saved this drop that we've already had. We don't want to see that 9 drop below the 20. And so let's see what happened the last time the 9 dropped below the 20 and how significant this is. There's the 9 dropping below the 20. It gets the Tribal Trades Discord gets you out a little bit earlier there. And then that's where you really would have gotten out, and it just capitulates to the downside. Let's have a look. When we went to the last time we came to the upside, there was some nice move from the upside, about 590 upwards there. And then, of course, you can see again, when we lose the 9 below the 20, again, the Tribal Trades Discord indicator gets you out earlier. And so that's what we're looking for. And that's the danger right now in the SPY. And so be warned that generally speaking, these conflicts have been good buy the dip opportunities. However, you don't want to buy a dip that keeps dipping, as we saw with Bitcoin. We saw with Bitcoin, and I did share with everybody the head and shoulders pattern that I had identified on Bitcoin and had shared about even as late as Friday and Saturday. I gave multiple warnings. I'd already given a warning about the head and shoulders on the hourly pattern that played out all the way down from 108 down to 104 there. And then I did share this other head and shoulders pattern. This is playing out at the moment. I showed this. You can go back to yesterday's video. I said that this is our technical target to the downside. First target is 97 and the second target is 95. So this is quite likely now. Now, of course, these technical targets to the downside, they don't always have to be, there's no guarantee that they'll go down that far, and they may not go down as far. We saw this one here. This was a head and shoulders pattern that I identified over here, and it actually stopped at the 50-week moving average and the 50-day moving average. Well, of course, we've lost both the 50-day and the 50-week moving average. The next one we have here is the 100, their 100 EMA on the daily time frame. That's down at 99, so that's pretty close. So I would expect, and then we got the Tribal Trades trend line there to come back and retest that. So maybe we do find some support there, and we don't quite get to these targets. However, you can see the Tribal Trades indicator again nailed it. There, as far as nailed it, absolutely nailed it, and there hasn't been any signal to jump back in. So you don't want to be buying a dip that keeps dipping. And of course, the big warning that I gave everybody was that we saw the 9 cross below the 20. I told you all what would happen if the 9 crossed below the 20, and that's happened exactly as I predicted. I also shared as well that the low for the month of June typically comes in later in the month in the last 5 years, and now we have, I believe we have a new low for Bitcoin there. Yes, we have a new low for Bitcoin there. And of course, we have the new indicators channel over here. Absolutely fantastic there. And look at this, just at 9:07 a.m. before Bitcoin dumped, it gave a bearish reversal signal also for Solana as well. It gave it twice there actually. And of course, if you'd taken that signal or been watching that signal in the Tribal Trades Discord, it's a brand new channel that we have in here that will give bullish and bearish reversals. It's a bot in here, a signals bot, an alerts bot that can alert you to possible trades there. And as you can see, that one there gave shorted off that and made quite a little bit of money this morning following that trading signal. Okay, so you look at Bitcoin on the daily time frame. If you bought down here, say at 100K, then you're not going to get out of this trade until about a week later when it tells you to sell up here at around 111,000. And now we're waiting, and I think we will get a signal here. We will get a green dot in the coming week, I think, even if it only lasts 5 or 6 days. And also on the weekly time frame, you see there we got the beautiful yellow signal. That's where I exited crypto. I did share with everybody here on the end of May. I said to you why I cashed out of crypto, and I got a lot of heat for that. A lot of people gave me a lot of flack saying, oh, you're just going to end up buying back higher. No, I'm not, because I follow my own tribal trade signal. It gave me the yellow arrow. This is where I got out of crypto, and this has been the right decision. Look what's happened as a result. And I know many of you followed my trade and did the same, of course, and need to buy the dip. But we don't buy a dip that keeps dipping. We're going to wait for we see some kind of reversal here before we jump into that. And that will be the same with when we check out the SPY as well, that we want to make sure that any dip that we buy isn't a dip that keeps dipping. And that's why I do love it, because a lot of times people say, well, where do I buy? What level do I buy? I buy when I see a trend reversal. I'm a trend trader. I trade the trend. When the trend is up, I'm buying. When the trend is down, I want to be out and selling out, and then I wait for a trend reversal. We have a clear downtrend here on the daily. However, on the weekly, on the SPY, we are still in an uptrend. Okay, it's not a confirmed downtrend, although I think tomorrow that we might get a signal there, and that might be quite bearish there for stocks. We'll just see what happens, and I'll keep the Discord updated over the weekend. So there you see all of that playing out with stocks. And I don't want to buy a dip that keeps dipping. I don't want to try and pick the bottom. I want to try and get close. I'll show you what could happen if this 9 rolls over the 20. Like we see, we could create some kind of somewhere around here, around this area, maybe at 584, 582, possibly down to 580. But we go even lower and make a lower low, and we take out this low here, which is 578, and maybe come down all the way to the 50-week moving average at 574. Then we're going to create a lower low, okay? And that's not what we want to do. Now, if we don't go below this low, we might just make a lower high, and then the dip is over, and then we go and make a higher high, and that would be quite bullish. A couple of things to look for there. And then secondly, what I'll add to that is we could possibly also, even if we do make a higher low, we could make a potential right shoulder. There is a left shoulder there. There is a head forming, and then a possible right shoulder. Even if we do make a lower high, oh, it's bullish, it's bullish. Here we go. If we do then make a lower high, then that could be a place to get out. And then we could come down and then capitulate to the downside there. So those are the two scenarios that I see possibly playing out, possible coming down. Now, if we get some news between now and Monday, there's some kind of ceasefire of some kind, then that may reverse and just this becomes our lower high and we hold this level and off we go. So those are a few things to keep an eye out for in the markets: a possible lower high, possible lower low, a possible head and shoulders. And we just have to, I will keep updated with this. I am doing more stocks charts on my YouTube videos, but I do update daily in the Discord. I update daily. We do have the stocks plays here. Some of these stocks plays were incredible. HIMS, I gave that trade at 46. That went all the way up to $50, I believe, for HIMS. Absolutely incredible trade. I'm going to expect that to fall back a little bit there. And you can see we got on that trade at, I originally gave this trade much lower, but the latest time I gave that trade was about 46. there, and that took off beautifully up to $50. Some other great trades that I gave on Friday. I give those setups every day in the stock plays session, and I do my favorite channel of all, of course, is the wins, and there's your life-changing gains trading university here. We do live sessions a few times a week there, but the wins column is my favorite. And this is what I love, is we've taught people how to leverage trade, make money to the downside. Joe with a smashing trade there went short and made money. Oh, that was a long actually that he made money on, but then the shorts came in there. You can see Nikola Tesla smashing it with some short trades there. William going short, making money. Rev going short, making money. Tonj going short, making money. Zacco short, making money there. Nikola Tesla absolutely crushing with a whole bunch of short trades there as the market just continued to go. So you don't have to be helpless and just go, oh no, I can't buy because the dip keeps dipping, or my portfolio keeps dropping. If you didn't sell, of course, I know that's tough. I feel you, but you can make money on the way down. As it's dropping, you can make money, and this is what we teach in the Tribal Trades Discord: is how to make money on the way down and on the way up as well. All right, well, that's all we have time for today. I will be in. Remember, if you do have another live session today for the Discord, so if you do sign up today, there'll be a live session around 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, and I'll be sharing about the new trading signals, crypto and stocks trading signals channel. I'll do a full tutorial, show everybody how I'm using that today, and we'll do some live trading with it today as well. And so if you do happen to sign up today, and if you are already in the Discord, stay tuned for that. That's going to be a great session today. And of course, as always, until the next episode, or until I see you in the Discord, happy trading.